Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. Okay, so I, like you, have had a few days to let the big Halloween news this week digest and think about it more and speculate over it a bit more and compartmentalize it a bit more. At least that's what I've been doing. Who knows what you guys have been doing? So the big news, of course, is that Jamie Lee Curtis is returning to the Halloween franchise to play Laurie Strode one last time. And that news dropped on Friday, September 15th, 2017, just a few days ago. And I uploaded a video talking about my thoughts on that. I want to thank everybody who commented on that video and contributed. I really, really appreciate it. The more people who comment, the less likely it is that I will be able to get back to each and every one of you individually, but don't take it personally. I try my best to read all of your comments, all of your insights, suggestions, ideas. It's totally awesome, totally cool. Thank you for doing that. So don't take it personally if you see that I responded to somebody else, but not you. You're like, what the fuck's going on? No, it's just that I have to sort of pick and choose where I want to comment if I have something to say, something myself to contribute to that comment. So again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I also want to thank you guys for continuing to subscribe because we just recently passed the 2,000 subscriber mark, which is totally cool. I know it's not a big deal in the big picture, but hey, 2,000 subscribers is 2,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So we're on our way to 2 million, baby. 2 million subscribers. Let's get there. Come on. You can do it. You can do it by next Thursday. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine? Anyway, so this video is going to be it's going to be my final video for now, talking about sort of speculating on the direction they're going to go with Halloween, the Jamie Lee Curtis news, because I'm not somebody that uploads a video, when the littlest of information drops just for the sake of uploading a video. So I tend to be very selective with the videos I upload. And of course, as you guys know, I work in the industry, so I'm a busy dude. So that's another reason why I want to be selective with what I upload, because I don't have the time to upload 10 videos a week. Sometimes I will, like I've been uploading quite a bit recently, but then sometimes there might be a week or two that goes by where you haven't heard from me and you guys are like, what the fuck's going on with Dave? Don't worry, I'm here, I'm around, I'm just a busy guy. I will get back. So if big news drops, you'll hear from me. If little news drops, like they're shooting in Pasadena, well, okay, we kind of figured that. Like, what am I going to say? Oh, hey, that's cool. Awesome. So what does that mean? Well, they'll probably use the Doyle house and the Strode house and the Myers house. So that's not really big news to me because that's kind of, that we kind of figured that was going to happen. Jamie Lee Curtis coming back was like, oh, some people might be like, oh, I figured that, but we weren't 100% sure that was going to happen. That's big news. Anyway, so this will be my final video on this because I have come to a solidified conclusion in my mind. Now, a lot of you guys have come to this conclusion before me, and that's fair. That's totally cool. But again, as somebody who is looking at this maybe a little more objectively, understanding cinematic language, working in the industry, knowing what I know, I like to take my time and be patient, okay? And I like to compartmentalize my thoughts and really look at it before I make a bold prediction. But a lot of you guys have beat me to the punch and say, and have said, no, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And you know what? For those of you who have said what I'm about to say, I agree with you. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, this is an official prediction from me based on the evidence we know right now. Now, this could change, okay? Filmmakers change, ideas change, scripts change, directions change, information changes. There's also false information that comes out as well. So things can change. But based on what we know right now, I've had time to think about it. Yes, I am making a official prediction that this will be a sequel to Halloween 1, John Carpenter's 1978 film. Now, that could change. I still think it's possible that it could be a sequel to Halloween 2. I still think it's possible. But I am, based on the information we know thus far, it's going to be a sequel to Halloween 1, primarily because of John Carpenter being attached and his lack of affection for Halloween 2 and his everything that I've said in my past videos. I was 99%, if you've watched them, I was like, the probability is really high that this is going to be a sequel to Halloween 2. And I still think the probability is there, but it's dropped significantly for me because I've had time to mull it over. I've had time to think about it. I've had time to read other things. I've had time to watch other things. I've had time to go back into my own head and think about the information that I know as a filmmaker myself. And knowing what I know about John Carpenter and what he said, and you know what? It is. this will be a sequel to Halloween 1. And I'm really excited about it because, as you know, I'm a huge proponent of the mortal Michael Myers. I'm a huge proponent of the supernatural elements. I'm a huge proponent of the absence of character, the absence of motivation, keeping him dark in the shadows, not knowing why he's there, not knowing what he's doing. He's just purely and simply evil. There is no motivation behind it. I'm a huge proponent of that. And if you've watched my past videos, you know again that I like Halloween 2. I really do. Not as much as Halloween 1. I think it's a far superior film, like I've said before. But I enjoy it for what it is. But you know, I got to thinking about this, and this is really interesting. If you remove the Michael is Laurie's brother and Laurie is Michael's sister component from Halloween 2, if you remove that component from Halloween 2, which of course is revealed in the scene when Dr. Loomis and Marion, the nurse, are in the back of the marshal's car, right? And they're driving away from the hospital. And that's where the nurse reveals that information to Dr. Loomis, and Dr. Loomis says something like, "Oh my God, don't you see what he's doing? He killed one sister 15 years ago, now he's back and trying to kill the other. And it's like, oh my God, it worked. It worked. But if you remove that scene altogether, it actually literally changes nothing about the movie. The rest of the movie plays out exactly as can be. Because it's not like Laurie Strode at any point in that movie finds out that she is his sister. It's not like Dr. Loomis says, "Oh, Laurie, I need to tell you something. Your brother, that never happens. It never happens. You actually could, it's actually irrelevant to Halloween 2. You could construct the story as Michael is just going after her again because he's fucking pissed that she got away. She stabbed him with a knife in the chest. She stabbed him with a coat hanger in the eye. She stabbed him with a knitting needle in the neck, right? She's the cause of him being shot 6 times and falling off a balcony. The dude's fucking pissed, okay? So he's like, maybe at the beginning of Halloween 2, he's like hiding in the bushes in the alleyway, bleeding a little bit, right? We know he's bleeding because Donald Pleasance goes like this on the ground and, sees blood. And then, maybe Michael is watching from afar and he sees the ambulance pull up, right? Woo! You know what I'm saying? So in his mind, he's thinking, well, I guess she's being taken to the hospital. I gotta find where the fucking hospital is and go fucking tear that bitch up. I mean, you don't have to add the brother-sister element because Halloween 2 can just act as a revenge redemption sequel for Michael Myers. That's it. It doesn't pan out in the end. I mean, he ends up dying, of course. But you remove that element, the brother-sister element, and it changes nothing about Halloween 2. It really doesn't. So, yes, I think this, but of course, Halloween 2 is what it is. It's not like they can go back and pretend that the ending of Halloween, like do a sequel to Halloween 2, but pretend the ending of Halloween 2 wasn't what it was and pretend the Laurie Michael thing didn't, I guess they could and pretend it was a dream. And I'm not suggesting that that's what they're going to do because you can't really do that. And we know Carpenter's a proponent of the absence of character, the absence of motivation. Yes, he did write Halloween 2. Yes, he did. But he gave the motivation in order to kill the character. He gave the motivation in order to lift the veil, to expose him as more vulnerable, to give a reason for it, to give some depth to a sequel, because you have to keep pushing the narrative forward. But he was never, he never liked it in the end. He never, he does not have a huge affection for it, as I've mentioned in past videos. So I think about all this, and I was sitting in my studio here last night doing the Elm Street video, and I was thinking, yeah, this is going to be a sequel to Halloween 1. They're going back to the roots. Michael's going to be mortal. Doesn't mean he's not going to be supernatural. Doesn't mean he's not going to have that supernatural flavor. Or as Carpenter said, slight supernatural edge, right? But they're going back to the roots. They're going back to the lack of motivation. So now that makes me think, okay, if they're going to do that, and hey, you know what? Like I said, this quote right here, I read it in my previous video about Jamie Lee Curtis returning. And I know I made this point too, but the more you read this, it's right there. It's right there. Inspired by Carpenter's classic, filmmakers David Gordon Green and Danny McBride crafted a story that carves a new path from the events in the landmark 1978 film. They did not say carves a new path at the, after the events of Halloween 2. They did not say that. They did not say carves a new path at the end of Halloween, 1981's Halloween 2. No, they said 1978 film. Now, you could argue and say, well, yes, but even though Halloween 2 came out in 1981, it's still, it's taking place the same night, which is in 1978. Yes, but that's not what the quote says. That's not what it says. It says the landmark 1978 film. Film, not landmark 1978 story, okay, or 1981's Halloween 2, the landmark 1978 film. It's right there. They inconspicuously threw it in there. There was no official announcement. There was no bells and whistles and balloons and, people writing articles about it on all sorts of Facebook pages. No, they just right under the radar, very inconspicuous and ambiguous about the whole thing. It's right there, folks. And I knew that when I was talking about it in my last videos. But I guess in the back of my mind, I was thinking to not do a sequel to Halloween 2 is ballsy. It's a ballsy move. Not for me, but for a lot of you. Because as I've mentioned, right? The idea of Laurie Strode being Michael Myers' sister and Michael Myers being Laurie Strode's brother is so ingrained into the pop culture consciousness of the mythology and the lore of Halloween that you cannot escape it. It's almost like Darth Vader being Luke Skywalker's father. It's like retconning that. I mean, not quite. I mean, Star Wars is bigger, don't get me wrong, but I'm using that to make a point. I'm being a bit satirical to make a point. Laurie Strode, Michael Myers, brother, sister, brother. That's what it is. That's what it is. We may not like Halloween 2 as much as Halloween 1. I don't. Some of you do. Some of you like it a lot more than Halloween 1. You think it's a better movie. So I always thought it would be a ballsy move. It is a ballsy move, regardless. It's a ballsy move to do a sequel to Halloween 1. It's ballsy because you're going to piss off a lot of the fans of Halloween 2 who love the brother-sister angle, who love the bloodline, who love Halloween 4 and 5, right? Who love H2O. I don't give a fuck about those movies, but I'm just saying, if you don't at least acknowledge that Laurie is Michael's brother and Michael's Laurie's sister, sorry, let me try that again. If you don't acknowledge that Laurie is Michael's sister and Michael is Laurie's brother, wow. Now, I don't care. I mean, it's not that I don't care. I like Halloween 2, I do. And for years, ever since I was a kid, that is where the Halloween series ended for me. It ended right there. Again, I don't like it as well, as much as the first one. I think the first one's far superior for a number of reasons, which I've talked about. But I'm okay with Halloween 2. I'm fine. The brother, sister, brother. Okay. All right. But I am a huge proponent of the absence of character, right? Of the absence of motive, of Michael being. So I just think it's a ballsy move. But yeah, based on the information we know thus far, unless something new breaks, this is going to be a sequel to Halloween 1 because then they do not have to justify how Michael survived the explosion. They don't have to justify how he survived being shot in the face. They don't have to justify that, okay? They can pick up, so the end of the movie was looking over the balcony and he's gone. And that is the last time Laurie Strode saw him. So this is picking up 40 years later in present day with Laurie Strode in present day. But then what? Yeah, I don't have enough information to speculate further on the narrative. I speculated on it in the video that I talked about Jamie Lee Curtis returning and the ideas that I had, and that's sort of where I still kind of am a bit. I'm not, but I am a little bit. I need more information because right now I'm just throwing darts. They could be doing anything. Laurie Strode's role could be anything. Could be anything from a cameo to a substantial part to the central figure. She could be anything from a crackhead who's never gotten over the events from 40 years earlier to a Dr. Loomis type of character to somebody who's living a great, wonderful life who's never thought about it again and is pulled back into it, against her will. I mean, it could be a number of things. I don't know enough yet. Now, information going forward about where they're shooting, who's being cast, locations. Will all that help to piece those things together? Yeah, it will. But until we get that information, there's really nothing to speculate on beyond that. I think this is going to definitely be a sequel to Halloween 1. So my official prediction, based on the information we have right now, is this will be a sequel to 1978's Halloween. Now I know, again, a lot of you guys already came to that conclusion before me and have mentioned that and commented on that, but I like to take my time and really think about it and really mull it over before I make any sort of bold predictions. But based on this information, yeah, I think you guys are right. I think you're right. I still think it's possible that this could be a sequel to Halloween 2 because of the reasons I said, but that probability is just dropping. It's just dropping. It's like, oh, it's like a pressure. It's just dropping. It's just like, wow. And I'm okay with it. Are you guys okay with it? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. That this will likely be a sequel to Halloween 1. I want to know your thoughts. Are you okay with it? Are you a huge fan of the brother-sister angle? How do you feel that they're going to ignore that? How do you feel that Laurie's not going to be Michael's sister? Michael's not going to be Laurie's brother. How do you guys feel about that? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. My name's Dave McRae. I just wanted to sort of do a video about my final thoughts on this sort of Jamie Lee Curtis news and what sequel it's going to be. That doesn't make my last videos irrelevant on sort of the direction I think they're going to go. You can still watch that stuff and get some good information from them. But yes, as of right now, this is going to be a sequel to Halloween 1, set in present day, with an older Laurie Strode coming back to Haddonfield. But why? Or did she never leave Haddonfield? I think she did. Makes it more interesting when somebody has to come back to Haddonfield. You have to return to the scene of the crime. You have to return to where it all began. You have to return. There's more of an emotional kind of nostalgic sort of play when you write a story that way. So I think she will have left Haddonfield and will have to come back. But why? Comment below and let me know your thoughts about everything that I've said, folks. My name's Dave McRae. I will talk to you guys soon. This week's going to get a little busy for me, so I'll try to upload some videos when I can. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments section on future videos you want to see me talk about, or, topics you want me to talk about, And, yeah, we'll go from there. Let's get to 2 million subscribers, baby! You can do it! Come on! You can fucking do this. Let's fucking knock the socks off of YouTube, okay? Anyway. My name's Dave McRae. Cheers.